No need to remind you that, as you already know, mulching significantly prevents sunburn, makes weeding much easier, and effectively reduces the need for watering. Thanks to mulching, you also enrich your soil. But before mulching, you need to clean your soil. But before mulching your soil, it is important to loosen it. So you will loosen it without turning the soil over. There are many tools to do this. You can use a digging fork as long as you don't turn the soil over. There are aerators, bioaerators, and a range of devices to aerate your soil while respecting its biodiversity. Take the opportunity to remove as many unwanted weeds as possible. The presence of thistles warrants spending a little bit more time to extract their very long roots. The hoe or the claw are essential tools to get rid of thistles. Next, you need to observe your soil. You will let it rest for a while, and if it rains a lot, you will have weeds that will germinate. This is the opportunity to remove them. To be more specific, practice a sort of false sowing to eliminate as many as possible. Use a stirrup hoe or a hand hoe to uproot them or cut them at ground level. If your soil is clayey, insufficiently humus-rich, and during this period you experience storms and floods, a crust will form on the surface. Therefore, you will need to break the crust before mulching. As for the plants already in place, like the onions and shallots here, their bulbs are trapped in the crust, suffocating the roots. Hoeing between the rows softens the soil, and as everyone knows, one hoeing is worth 2 waterings, and this saying also applies to pre-mulching. In principle, it is generally recommended to mulch in the fall to avoid nitrogen hunger. In fact, straw needs nitrogen to decompose. So, of course, if you put straw in the spring and then plant your vegetables, well, the straw will absorb the nitrogen and it will be at the expense of the plants. So, a very simple tip to avoid this phenomenon is to simply add an organic fertilizing agent, but this time essentially rich in nitrogen. The thickness of the mulch varies depending on the type of plants being cultivated. 5 centimeters in height for sowing radishes, 10 centimeters for transplanting lettuces, and you can go up to 20 centimeters in height if you're mulching currant or raspberry bushes.